Good evening. I am your host, Adrian Maddox. Together, we will journey across the cosmos and search for some of the
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's.
Good evening, guys. Welcome to another Retro Sci-Fi Night at the bar at the edge of the universe. I'm your host, Adrian Maddox, and this is the show where we sit back, relax, have a few drinks, and enjoy some retro sci-fi together. My last episode, I might have gone too far. I had, I think seven or eight shots within the span of an hour. That's not something I normally do, so that was interesting. I was listening back to the audio, and there was some I don't know. You tell me if that was just like too much. I was kind of like cringing, but I don't know. I figured I would just leave everything in there, just so it's authentic, you know. Yeah. So tonight we have we've moved to the double feature schedule. So we're going to listen to two separate shows. The first one we're going to listen to is called The Man in the Moon. Man in the Moon first aired May 29th, 1955, based on a story by George Lefferts, and it was first published in Amazing Stories, July 1950. The second story we're going to listen to is called Junkyard. It aired on February 22nd, 1955, based on a story by Clifford D. Simak, and it was first published in Galaxy magazine, May 1953. So, no idea what these stories are about, as usual, going into them blind. And yeah, hopefully they're pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm most excited for... I want to say I'm most excited for Man on the Moon, just because it seems more sci-fi-esque. A Man on the Moon, right? Junkyard could be anything. I have no idea what what it could possibly be in that episode. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Countdown for blastoff. X
Unfortunately,
-5, -4,
I only have
-3,
one White Claw, so
-2, X
I had to grab a
5.
Truly as well. I'm actually going to start with that, get that out of the way, because I much prefer White Claws.
From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space.
This is a mango
These are
lemonade,
stories
Truly.
of the future.
I don't actually
Adventures in
think I was
which you'll
supposed to
live
drink
in a million
this.
Could be years on 1,000 would-be
My mom
worlds.
told me to leave these for
The
her.
National Broadcasting Company presents X minus
My mom lives with me, guys, okay?
1.
It's not bad.
Tonight's story, The Man in the Moon.
It's okay. I think the thing for me is Truly's might be too sweet. I think that's why I prefer White Claw.
Attention, attention. This is the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons calling all local agencies.
And we're going to do some Fireball real
This is a
quick.
coded report nationwide. Missing since 9 o'clock this morning, the following persons. Smigley, Jonathan, 5 feet 8 inches tall, brown hair, brown eyes, mastoid scar behind right ear, last seen wearing blue top coat and tan cap, wanted by Los Angeles... Hello, get off this wavelength. This is a restricted band.
Hello.
Whoever you are, you're on a coded wavelength. Tune out. This frequency is reserved for the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons.
Hello, Earth. This is
What?
the moon calling Earth. Hello, Earth.
This guy's loony.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
This is Jake in transmission.
Jake, this is Charlie of the code room. Some crackpot is on our frequency.
Someone from the moon.
Charlie, I've got CQ trying to trace a source now. We should have a triangulation any second.
Well, hurry it up, will you? Some ham is in for a good stiff fine by the FCC.
Yeah, they ought to take his license away. Oh, here comes
The
Lenny.
FCC won't let me be. It feels so empty without me.
Hey, what's this? This is impossible.
What's going on down there? How about it? Get that ham out of my kilocycles.
Now listen, Charlie, unless this is a gag, that interference is being beamed from 240,000 miles away.
Oh, now, Jake, you know there ain't no such thing as 240,000 miles away.
Yes, there is, Charlie. Straight up.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Charlie, that signal is coming from the moon.
Are you nuts?
Well, somebody might be bouncing it like a radar signal.
There's a man in the moon.
This frequency? Where'd you study basic radio?
Now listen, Flathead, you asked for a fix. I gave the best fix our instruments can find. Take it or leave it. Somebody on the moon is calling the Bureau of Missing Persons.
Mr. Timken. Mr. Timken.
What's the sweat, Charlie? Shouldn't you be broadcasting?
Listen, Mr. Timken.
Oh,
You know I'm a sober citizen, right? Hmm? Never once have I broadcast with the smell of alcohol on my breath, right?
Right.
In all your 12 years here at the Bureau, did I once
What's the
ever...
matter, Charlie?
no.
We're picking up a message on our wavelength.
Did you report to the FCC?
I ain't got the nerve.
Well, what's wrong?
You'll scream when you hear this, Mr. Timken. You'll jump right out the window, but
God, I
we
hope not.
are getting an SOS from the moon.
I wonder what would happen if
Well, that's it.
if that
It's
actually
unvoiced
occurred.
switch to Morse. The way the signal repeats sounds like a phonograph record or automatic sender of some sort.
Well, what's it say?
Let's see here. Can you read me? Help, Otterburn. Will contact when moon is in phase.
Let's have that again.
Can you read me? Help, Otterburn. Will contact when moon is in phase.
Otterburn.
Otterburn.
That sounds like a name, huh?
Otterburn. Otterburn. Wait a minute.
Something registered?
Cornelius Otterburn. Holy jumping Jehoshaphat.
Hey, where you going?
Talk to the chief.
Hey, wait a minute.
What on earth did he just say?
Just got a CQ from the man in the moon.
Dropping
That's exactly what I am.
Jeholama? What? I did not understand that.
Just too much for me.
That sounded hilarious, though.
Washington Star-Ledger.
Let me have O'Brien on city desk.
A moment. O'Brien?
Seamus,
Yeah?
Charlie Starbuck down at the Missing Persons Bureau. You want a hot one? No kidding. This'll cost you a beer, okay?
All right, shoot, Noodle Brain. I'll stay on your
he
way
ain't gonna
for
believe it.
30 seconds.
Okay. We just got a radio message from the moon.
Yep. What?
From the moon.
Call
What?
me back when you're sober.
Okay, Seamus, if you don't know a story when you see one,
I'll send you the name of a good psychiatrist. So long, Orson
Yeah.
Welles.
How do you like that? You don't believe me.
Yeah. No kidding.
Otterburn, Mr. Wade. Now, does that name ring a bell?
You're the man with the photographic memory, Henry. What about Otterburn?
Cornelius Otterburn, atomic physicist, reported missing from his home in Baltimore on June 5th, 1945, just 5 years ago.
An
Vanished
atomic
completely.
Are you
physicist.
trying to tell me you really think there's something
Disappeared.
to this man of the moon business? Henry, I'm surprised at you. This is some crackpot trying to jam the airwaves.
Yes, but the name Otterburn is so unusual.
So
Mr.
are a lot of names.
And I have a theory that...
I was afraid of that. Henry, you always have a theory. Let's see, what was it last year? Oh, yes. That people disappear in occupational psych.
Well, it's true.
Please, Henry, I'm a busy man. You expect me to believe that this Otterburn is sitting up on the moon, sending out shortwave messages?
He might be on Earth bouncing the messages off the moon, but who's to say he isn't on the moon?
Henry, as chief of this bureau, I have
Wait.
my hands full trying to coordinate reports from 48 states and Alaska. I have no time to include the moon.
But, Mr. Wade...
Out, Henry.
But, Mr. Wade...
Out, I'm busy.
Wait, if he can bounce it off the moon,
Take this folder of reports for the dead file.
Yes.
And no more.
why
nonsense,
is the
Henry.
moon even a
Yes, I
possibility?
appreciate that you have a very dull job filing old missing persons reports, and I appreciate that you take an active interest in the affairs of the Bureau. But no more nonsense, huh?
There's no way that's a
No more
thing.
nonsense.
Pardon me.
Hmm?
You are Mr. Henry Timken.
That's my name.
Permit me, Jefferson Philo, scientific feature writer.
Oh, how do you do? Oh, are you the newspaper man?
Not exactly. I write as a hobby. Occasionally the papers give me leads on an assignment. If I may have a moment of your time.
Oh, certainly. Just sit down at my desk over here.
Thank you. My, that's quite a stack of papers.
Filing. I'm the records custodian of the Bureau. 12 years and never misplaced a record.
Magnificent. I admire the precise mind, Mr.
Timken.
Of course.
This guy kind of sounds like
Now,
a...
Mr. Timken,
I don't
Mr.
know,
O'Brien,
like a
the
villain.
editor of the Star-Ledger, said I might drop by and investigate a rumor. Only a rumor, mind you, that a message from the, moon?
Well, we
Moon.
aren't certain it's from the moon. It may be a bounce. They have bounced radar waves off the moon, you know.
Yes, I know. I wrote the first newspaper article.
I'm starting to think about
I must have a
the Rick and Morty episode with the the man on the moon.
There you are. I'll leave it on your desk.
Oh, thank you very much.
It was just a smudge
About this message from the moon.
on Morty's
Now,
telescope.
we don't know for sure, as I
The
said.
smudge on the
I
lens.
believe that this message, wherever it originates, is from Cornelius Otterburn.
The physicist?
Oh, do you know him?
I once wrote an article on his contribution to nuclear mechanics. A brilliant man, Otterburn. Years ahead of his contemporaries.
Well, whoever is sending those signals, if he isn't on the moon, is at least using the moon as a sounding board, bouncing the signal.
But why, Mr. Timken? Why?
Well, if you will come here tomorrow
I
night,
feel like that would be the first
we may learn the answer to that
possibility,
question. I've arranged
not
with Charlie, our radio man, to...
not the other way around.
May I consider this an invitation?
You certainly may.
Very well, sir. Until tomorrow night, then.
Goodbye, Mr. Philo. Let's see now. Aiken, Abelard, Abramson, Rono, Atch... Well, that's funny. Now, where did this list of names come from? Paul Aarons, astromathematician. Robert Simons, electronic engineer. Carl Parker, mining specialist. Well, this must have gotten mixed up with the papers on my desk by accident. Peculiar list of names.
Very peculiar.
Oh, good morning, Charlie.
Oh, hi, Mr. Timken. See, we made the papers.
Oh?
And how? And as the chief steamed up about it, he really gave me one.
It's not very,
What do the papers say?
it's not much suspense in this one.
Aha. Here's the Herald. Listen.
I mean, I get it, there probably actually is a guy in the moon,
Contacts
but
Missing Persons Bureau. Missing atomic scientists sitting on the moon, say bureau experts, etc., etc. What a panty.
Well, no wonder Mr. Wade is hopping.
Say, about tonight, Mr. Timken, I don't
Now,
know.
you promised you'd give me a key to the radio room.
Yeah, but I didn't expect
Well,
this.
I'll take full responsibility with Mr. Wade.
oh god,
The
what was
morning
that?
broadcast. We got quite a list today.
Well, mind if I listen a while? We may hear Otterburn.
Rip headphone users.
Self-conscious, just stick around.
Yes.
Attention, attention. This is the Federal Missing Persons Bureau calling all local agencies. Nationwide. This is a coded broadcast. The following persons are missing. Aarons, Dr. Paul,
What?
5'5", brown hair, brown eyes, scar on left side of chin, thick glasses. Occupation, astromathematician. Missing since 6 o'clock this morning. Being sought by Bel Air Police.
Charlie.
Repeat. Dr. Paul
Charlie,
Aarons.
shut it off a second.
Hold it. Delay 1 minute. Listen, Mr. Timken, it's okay to stay, but
Weird.
you can't interrupt
Now,
us.
this is important. Did you say Dr. Aarons was reported missing this morning?
6 a.m. We got the report from Bel Air less than an hour ago.
Are you certain, Charlie?
Positive. What is this?
Charlie, what's the next name on the list?
Let's see. Simons, Robert, engineer.
What?
Came in less than 20 minutes ago.
20?
Hey, what's the matter with you? You look like you've seen a ghost.
It's nothing, Charlie, except that last night, by accident, someone left a list of names on my desk. And that list included the names of those two men who were reported missing within the last hour.
What? Oh, that don't sound right to me.
But it isn't right, Charlie. It leaves a big question to be answered. Who would make up a list of missing persons before they were missing, not after?
I don't know.
And you say this list of names was left on your desk accidentally?
Well, I believe so, Mr. Wade.
You have any ideas, Henry?
Well, it's hard to say. Mr. Philo left some papers from his briefcase.
Mr. Philo?
Well, a science feature writer.
I see. You were the leak on that story, then?
Yes, sir, I'm afraid I was. I didn't think it would be treated as a laughing matter.
Well, we'll deal with that later.
Yes, sir.
What's this Philo like?
Well, he's a strange old duck, bald, thick glasses, tall. He walks stooped over. Seems to know a great deal about scientific data, but of course, being a science writer,
Is there any
Yeah,
other...
so all these people that are going missing seem to
this is all hooked up with
kind of be interested in the same sort of like space science type of stuff.
Be a very remote possibility.
Wait, does that mean I'm at risk?
Bureau deals in remote possibilities, Mr. Wade.
I do not
I'd go to the
require a
moon.
statement of policy.
Hell yeah.
What's the theory?
Well, for some time now, it has been my contention that in a country like ours, where even the cleverest criminal can be ferreted out and located eventually, there is no such thing as a missing person.
I was afraid of that.
Now, for 12 years now, I have had several files where information from all over the country is channeled and recorded. I have made a private study.
This is beginning to sound familiar, Henry.
And I have discovered that each year, literally thousands of persons vanish, leaving no trace. They are never located. Where do they go? Nobody knows.
And
they disappear in interesting cycles.
what sort of cycle?
They're getting abducted.
For example, one year we'll have a run on, well, say, coal miners. Next year, the proportion of engineers increases, and then scientists. And
What do you think happens, Henry?
I don't know, Mr. Wade, but I'm beginning to suspect that somebody else has discovered the same phenomenon, even to the point, perhaps, of being able to predict who will turn up among the missing next.
Philo?
Well,
So there's different like groups of people.
I would like to find
It comes
out.
in waves. That's
Atterbury may
weird.
be a part of this picture?
Mr. Wade, I definitely do.
Henry, do you honestly expect me to buy an idea like
Well,
that?
it is more than an idea. The two top men on this list are missing, and...
Maybe so, but the rest of them aren't. Parker, Watson, Gibbs.
Not
Why,
yet.
Parker in the restaurant where I had lunch today.
Yes, but
and if you
Mr.
think I'm going to make myself a laughingstock by accepting such a crack-brained theory...
Well,
Excuse me.
Yes.
Hello, Wade speaking. Yes? Yes? I see. What name? Just a moment. Henry, let me see that list again.
Here you are, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, yep.
I'll get back to you.
The next one was on the list, obviously.
I guess I owe you an apology, Henry.
Yeah.
Carl Parker was just reported missing.
Parker?
Told you
Third man on your
so.
list.
Holy mackerel.
Exactly.
Holy
Henry,
mackerel.
for a good many years now, I've ridiculed these theories of yours. I don't know. Perhaps I've underestimated you. Maybe this time you've really stumbled onto something.
What do you intend to do, Mr. Wade?
I don't know.
I mean, you've kept him around for this long, so you value
I'm
him
planning to listen for
at
another
least
broadcast
somewhat.
tonight in the hope that Otterburn might try to contact us again.
Good idea. I believe I'll join you.
I also invited Mr. Philo, the feature writer.
Oh? I'll be glad to meet him. I'm beginning to get interested in you, Mr. Philo.
Mr. Wade, you don't think...
That he's mixed up in this?
Yes.
I don't know, Henry. But it suddenly strikes me that...
He
we don't
sounded
know very
like he
much
did,
about
like he
him,
had a
really.
voice, like a suspicious voice.
Contact the police.
No, Henry.
If that makes
We're
sense.
better off keeping this between ourselves for the moment. We're dealing with the unknown. And in solving an equation for the X factor, it's often easier to limit the number of terms. You follow me?
So I take it none of them are,
More danger in what
neither
you
of them are
discover
on the
you were
list,
aware.
so that's good.
Let's keep it quiet. You agree?
Maybe you're right, Mr. Wade. I hadn't thought of the danger involved.
I was gonna do a little bit.
8 o'clock. Mr. Philo is late.
Well, he said he'd be here. He strikes me as a man who keeps appointments.
Look out the window.
Yes.
The moon is almost in direct phase. We can't wait much longer.
Well, it's a perfectly clear night for transmission. If anybody's sending, we ought to pick it up with this equipment.
You'd better switch on the set.
Yes. I never
Cheers.
realized how eerie this office could be when it was empty.
I'll have to light in the hall for Mr. Philo when he comes. Are you getting anything?
Just some foreign stuff, I think.
And that concludes the British portion of tonight's programming from Johannesburg, South Africa. We continue in April.
That's a peculiar transmission sound.
That's weird.
Now, that sounds like something. See if I can work the selector.
The moon is in phase.
Yes.
Hello, Earth. Can you hear me?
I'll try to return.
It's him again.
Hello?
Hello, Earth.
Hello, do you hear me?
Oh, I get you now. Thank God.
Who are you? Can you hear me? Who are you?
This is Professor Cornelius Otterburn. Hello?
Go on, I hear
Yep.
you.
Not much time. They're on to me. They've located my sending point. You hear me?
Go ahead, keep going.
Yes, we can hear you.
Only enough oxygen for a few minutes more.
Well, where are you?
I'm on the Earth side of the moon. You get that? The Earth side of the moon.
Okay.
A volcanic crater.
Start that recorder, Mr. Wade. Go on. Explain, please. Explain,
Now
please.
listen closely. There is an Earth colony on the moon. There is an Earth colony on the far side of the moon, made up of renegade scientists and criminals. Professor Ernst Halsman.
He died in an insane asylum in 1938.
Professor Ernst Halsman discovered nuclear rocket power in 1935. Turned his plans over to escaped inmates of the asylum. They took off and set up a colony on the far side of the moon in
What?
1938.
Go ahead, we're recording you.
Each year, they recruit new colonists from Earth. Slave labor, mostly. I was kidnapped in 1945.
Yes, I know. Keep
What the
They
heck?
wanted me to work on atomic drive for their flying disc.
Still getting you. Go on.
Is it flying disc?
Last month, 6 others and I escaped.
Speak louder.
You got to stop them. Stop them.
Stop who?
The moon colony, planning to take over the Earth. Invasion. Oh,
Hang on.
no oxygen. Hard to breathe. Listen, they have agents on Earth. You hear me?
Agents on Earth. Where? Who? Hello? Hello? Hello?
What? Oh!
Someone at the window, get down.
Oh!
Are you all right? I think so. His shot smashed the transmitter.
And the lights. Strike a match. Careful.
It's an agent.
It was close.
I got a look at him. From the description, it was your Mr. Philo.
We got a recording anyway, but not the most important part of the message. Poor Otterburn, suffocating to death.
Henry, we've got to get you out.
Yeah,
of here.
that's pretty
You
bad.
said they have agents. Philo was probably
These
one of
moon men
them.
are...
You're now trying to kill you.
The police.
You think
Yeah,
the
they're
police
out
would
for
believe
blood.
A fantastic story like this? People being kidnapped to the moon as slave labor? Moon colony planning an invasion of the Earth? But Henry, believe me, they'd trap us into straitjackets before we could finish.
We've got to do something.
We need time. Time to get proof.
You don't think my theory was bunk then?
I know it wasn't, Henry. Right now, my
Poor
only concern
Otterburn.
is for your safety.
But we can't walk out of here. Philo's probably waiting.
Goodbye, moon man.
Delivery trucks parked there all
You
night.
say goodbye, moon man.
Off the ramp, working the inside.
Goodbye,
Start the mechanism and make a run.
I don't know. I think if we call the police...
By the time
we
the
might-
police get here, we'll be dead. You think Philo will wait outside all night? Come on. That's an order.
Okay. But what about the recording of Otterburn's notes?
We'll leave that here in the safe in my office. They'll never get into that. Let's go. You buzz the elevator while I hide the recording.
So the criminals made a colony on the far side of the moon, and they come to Earth and abduct
Come on.
like scientists
Keep it
and
aside.
stuff,
Yes, sir.
and well, I guess just normal people for slave labor.
Truck over there.
Bring them back to the moon, and they're planning an
Get in.
invasion to take over Earth.
All right, Henry. You start the mechanism to open the garage door, then jump onto the truck.
Yes, sir.
Seems
Don't make a
legit.
dash for it.
Where can we go?
I have a farm outside Chevy Chase. It's private. Miles from the nearest neighbor and completely hidden by trees. We'll run for that. Go ahead. Start the door up.
All right.
Quick. Jump in. Let it go, Henry. Cross your fingers. We made it out all right. Anything doing?
There's a blue coupe behind us, Mr. Wade. It seems to be following.
I'll cut up Pennsylvania Avenue.
Uh-oh.
Now Route 1 toward Baltimore.
It is following. He turned with us. Can you go faster?
Not much faster.
Oh, he's gaining on us.
I've got an idea. Hang on, Henry.
Yes. Why'd you stop?
I'll turn out the lights.
What?
It worked. He shot right past us. Now we'll double back and go out another route.
Well, I don't see anything. I think we've lost him.
Good.
This guy's the 1950
everything's
version
gonna be
of
all right
Baby
now.
Driver.
We can be at my farm in less than an hour. Not much longer now. Is anyone behind us?
I thought I saw the blue coupe again, but I was mistaken. Whew. This place is really out in the
We can
wilderness.
stay here indefinitely till we'll figure out the next move. Now, just up this dirt road now.
Well, he said he thought he saw them, but he was mistaken,
You're not
so
going toward
that
it.
probably means that he did
No,
see
I have a
them.
better idea. There's a big abandoned wheat silo on my grounds. It's down a hollow where it can't be seen except from the air. And even then, the oak trees shield it. We'll hide you out there. Now, we leave the truck here. You'll never be seen. Come on.
I've never heard so much tires screeching in my life.
How did you ever find this place, Mr. Wade?
I've always liked seclusion. I bought it about 12 years ago. Come up here in the summertime to get away from it all. There's the silo.
Certainly well hidden.
There's a small door around the side. Come on. Be careful of those bushes.
Yes.
It's hard to see them in the dark.
Do you suppose Philo will find us?
I assure you, Henry, Mr. Fowler will never find us here. Not in a million years.
This guy's an agent, is he?
It's pitch dark.
Hold my arm. I know the way. Just a few steps up, and another door.
Steel. This is an unusual silo. Double-walled, wood outside and steel inside.
Completely fireproof. An army couldn't wreck it. We're inside the inner shell. Careful.
Yeah, that's not normal.
We're in a circular room. Stay here a moment.
He's in a...
And see if the coast is clear.
He's in a ship.
In a moment, your eyes will become accustomed to the darkness. I'll bring back some food and water.
Don't be long, Mr. Wade. This place gives me the willies.
Just a moment.
Mr. Wade.
Yeah.
I swear I hear something. Mr. Wade. What's that? There is something. Good Lord. There's someone in here. It's locked. Oh, no. Mr. Wade. Mr. Wade, let me out.
Oh.
I'm not alone in here. Mr. Wade. This must be a light switch. Thank God. Oh, no. People. 10, 15, 20. Mr. Wade, help!
What?
It will do you no good to shout, Henry.
Mr. Wade, where are you?
Outside. Speaking over the intercom.
Mr. Wade, there are people in here. 15 or 20 of them.
Yeah.
They're sitting like statues, just staring at me.
They won't hurt you, Henry.
What?
They've all been drugged. They're even more helpless than you.
But who are they?
Permit me to introduce them, Henry, since they're currently unable to introduce themselves. The gentleman seated before you, the one with the scar, is Dr. Paul Ahrens, the astromathematician. Next to him is Mr.
Yeah.
Robert Simons, electronic engineer.
Names on the list.
Yes, you're familiar with the rest. They've all been, shall we say, recruited for work with Professor Hall's.
Recruited, huh?
Oh, then you're one of them.
Of course. Oh, yes. There's one whose name was not on our list. If you'll turn around, Henry, you'll recognize the drugged form of your old friend, Mr. Philo.
Philo. But I thought...
That he was part of the conspiracy? No. On the contrary.
Why wasn't he on the
It
list,
wouldn't be
though?
necessary for us to include
Yes, but the man in the window, the one who fired the shot.
an agent of mine, the pilot of this ship.
Shit, what ship?
This silo is camouflaged.
This guy's
for a
slow.
launching platform. In a moment, the roof will slide back for the rocket's takeoff.
A rocket ship.
In exactly 70 hours, you and your companions will join Professor Otterburn on the moon.
But you can't do this to me.
We have done it, Henry.
No.
You see, there was another name omitted in that list, which I carelessly mixed up with your papers. That of
No.
Henry Timken.
No.
Bon voyage.
I won't let you do this. You can't. Please. Take me out.
Yeah, you're done.
Please, this can't happen. Let me out. Let me out.
Attention. Missing since 8 o'clock last night, the following persons. Timken Henry, age 45, height 5 feet 8, 165 pounds, brown eyes, slightly balding. Occupation, records custodian. Repeat, Timken Henry, age 45, height 5 feet 8, 165 pounds.
I would not have fallen for that.
In just a moment, a word about next week's adventure. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you The Man in the Moon.
Oh, that was it.
Original radio drama written by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast.
I don't know. What'd you guys think? I thought it was all right.
As the chief,
Definitely not one of my favorites. It was super predictable.
Sidney Smith as Otterburn.
And
Ron
pretty
Haig as
unbelievable,
Jake,
too.
Joe DeSantis as Philo, and Ed Latimer as O'Brien.
Colony living on the moon.
X-1
Made out
was
of
directed
prisoners.
by Fred Way.
1930s
It is an NBC
technology.
Radio Network production.
And they want to take over Earth.
And now, next week.
Why'd you leave?
The sign on the window said Parigi's Wonderful Dolls. A woman and a child waiting.
It was entertaining enough.
The little girl peering.
I don't think
and the woman glancing impatiently.
I don't think anything's gonna top
someone who was late
First Contact though.
And there was nothing about Parigi's doll shop to
That
warn
episode
them
was
they
just
were waiting
amazing.
to keep an appointment with Doom at X.
These stories are just supposed to be, short, fun stories, so I don't look too deep into them, but yeah, First Contact by far is that one was so good. And the more I listen to some of these, I actually am starting to like A Saucer of Loneliness a lot more. A Saucer of Loneliness was the first one that we ever listened to. Basically the UFO was like a bottle, like a message in a bottle. Yeah, because it made you think more than just what was happening. It actually kind of made you think about an idea. This one, not so much. Not really more to it to ponder. It's just kind of it is what it is. But it's still good. Let's see here. So the next one, Junkyard. No idea what this is about. So, hey, we'll find out. It might be really good. Who knows? Couldn't find much information about it, so. Let's see here. Let's go.
In just a moment, X-1. But first, when you hear the hearty laugh and familiar voice of the great Gildersleeve tomorrow night, you know you're in for some hilarious adventures.
Based off the title, it could be about anything.
Somehow things never seem to go as planned. It might be his impulsive nature, or maybe it's his incurable.
I'm polish off this truly though and open up my White Claw.
Whatever it is,
and I'll do another shot once we blast off.
Tune in tomorrow night. Meet Judge Hooker, Nephew Leroy, Housekeeper Bertie, and all the rest of the friendly people from Somerville as they join the great Gildersleeve.
Here we go.
And now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC.
There's a White Claw. Here we go. Oh, I gotta pour my shots.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3.
Let's go.
X-1, fire.
Here we go. Shot. Oh. Woo! It's making my tummy warm.
From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time.
I'm kind of thinking possibly this might be about robots. I don't know. Junkyard, I'm thinking about scrap parts. Maybe building something. So that leads me to believe robot, but
cooperation with Galaxy
who knows?
Science Fiction Magazine presents
Minus 1.
Tonight's story, Junkyard, by Clifford D. Simak.
Oh, I actually pronounced that guy's name right. And once again, this first appeared in Galaxy Magazine, May 1953.
On Planet 9. We circled it and decided it was strictly a low-grade affair. Wouldn't amount to anything for a billion years or so. As commander of a galactic survey team, I couldn't waste my time on it. Then my exec saw this junkyard through the telescope. We landed. Took a look at a load of alien machine parts discarded by some other spaceship, and then prepared to take off for Earth. It was all been a waste of time.
Engine room, MacGyver.
This is Commander Warren. All secure?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Countdown for blastoff.
Engine room ready, sir.
X-5. -4. -3. -2. -1. Fire.
Fire. Do it.
Mac, what's wrong down there?
Well, I don't know, sir.
Brady, get the data analyzer ready. We'll have to correct for a new takeoff time.
That's the first time I ever heard of engine failure before takeoff.
Well, better before than after. Engine room?
Yes, sir.
What's happening? You boys ready yet?
No, sir.
Well, burn it, man. Get going. I want those engines started.
Sir,
What is it?
I don't quite know what to say.
Well, say something or I'll have you busted.
We can't start the engines, Commander. At least I can't.
Well, why not?
I don't know.
Klein, put Klein on.
Lieutenant Klein, sir.
Lieutenant, what is going on down there? Is there something wrong with the engines?
No, sir. I've double-checked them.
Well, then let's get them.
Did you put gas in?
God-forsaken planet the rest of our lives.
We can't do it, sir.
Klein, suppose you tell me exactly why you can't start the engines. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, why?
Because, sir, we can't remember how.
What?
Yes, sir. We've forgotten how to start the engine.
Lieutenant.
What?
Bring Dr. Spencer with you.
Yes, sir.
That's not good.
All right, Brady, where have you got it?
Got what, Ira?
Don't play innocent. You and I have been doing planet surveys together for 15 years. You carry enough dead weight in grain alcohol on every trip to keep you happy for 1,000,000 light years. Now, obviously, the boys in the engine room have gotten into it.
Impossible.
Where is it?
I got a few fifths in my locker, but nobody's touched it. I checked a few minutes ago.
Well, then somebody has got some in the engine room. Come in.
Lieutenant Klein, sir, I brought Dr. Spencer as ordered.
Okay, there's a junkyard.
He did?
How long will it take you to get these guys sobered up?
I can't.
Why not?
Because
I
they're
think
not
I
drunk.
kind of get
I
it.
tested Klein in my office.
Now, wait a minute, Doc. Are you trying to get me to actually believe that these men, intergalactic engineers with years of hyperfission experience, have forgotten how to start the engines of this ship?
That's right.
You're serious?
Dead serious, Ira. Something, somehow, has caused these men to forget how to start the engines.
There it was. It fit in perfectly with a lot of other annoying little things that have been happening to us ever since we put down on Planet 9. It was to have been a routine exploration of a low-grade, uninhabited planet. Some routine exploration. All right, Klein, now listen to me. Do you have manuals aboard? Engineering
That would be
manuals?
so weird.
Take the engine room boys and study those manuals. They'll tell you how to start
just to
the
like
ship,
not
okay?
just to forget how to
Okay,
do
get going.
something.
Doc, I'd like you to stay here with me and Brady for a minute.
Okay.
Report back to me, Klein.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Doc, you're supposed to be an expert on space medicine. What is it?
I've never seen anything like it, Ira.
Space medicine.
Search me, Captain. I've seen them with space blues, alien psychoses, the works. But I've never seen a disease that could make a crew forget how to start the engines.
Maybe it isn't a disease.
Okay, what then?
Maybe it's a deliberate thing.
You mean they're faking?
No, I know Klein and the others too well for that. I mean, maybe there's some outside influence.
Doc, we've surveyed this planet from top to bottom.
Yeah,
We know
more than
there's
likely.
a living cell on it.
What about the junkyard?
What junkyard?
Oh, he means that pile of rusty space engine parts we found. The boys nicknamed it the junkyard.
He's right. Somebody put it there.
Well, we know that another spaceship landed here. We know that from the blast marks on the rock.
Well,
we know that for some unexplained reason they
seem-
took their engine apart and tried to put it together again.
it seems to me that those other ships, that their crew also forgot, and so they're stuck there.
What we don't know is whether or not they left somebody behind. Or something.
What about that stone tower, Ira?
The boys looked it over. It's just a pile of stones. They probably threw them together as a shelter while they were rebuilding their engine.
Oh, that sounds too simple.
I don't like that tower, Ira.
Why not?
I don't know. It was scary. It had that black look about it. The smell of death. I felt it when I walked past with Klein and MacIver.
Oh, that's the Celt in you. Banshees and spooks.
I still don't like it. I need a drink.
Skip it. We should be ready
Let's
to
call him
blast
the
off in a few
spook.
minutes. Engine room.
What?
Engine room. What's going on down there? Engine room. Lieutenant Klein.
I don't think that's what he meant by it.
Is that you, Daddy? Did you bring me a present? Daddy, I'm scared.
Holy mackerel, that's Klein. He's gone off his rocker. Klein! Doc, I think we better get down to that engine room.
I wish I could talk like the people in these radios, like and every day, like the voice, and just their
When Doc
sayings.
examined Klein, he
It's
found
so
him to
funny.
have the mind and memory of a 6-year-old.
That's it, Ira. Something drained Klein of his memory. And that's as much as I can tell you.
Well, that's a big help.
Here's the manual he was
I wonder
reading.
why they lost their memories
This
first.
stinking planet. Hand it to me.
To strand them there, possibly?
Anything wrong, Ira? Is it all there?
It's all here, Doc. This is the engine manual that tells all about the engines. How they operate, how to locate trouble, how to fix them, how to start them.
Well, what is it then? You're sweating like a pig.
All of a sudden, I can't remember the symbols. Doc, I've forgotten how to read.
What on earth? That would be terrifying.
Through the lock to stand on the outside platform of the ship. I looked over the junkyard where the metal of the rusted engine parts gleamed. There was a riddle there. A riddle we hadn't been able to figure out. Why had an alien spaceship landed here, ripped out its engines, and then put together a simple, less efficient engine and taken off again? And they had worked in an awful hurry, judging by the mess they'd left. Why? Why?
All right, I'm liking this story a lot. This is good.
Mind if I join
It's
you,
intriguing.
No, help yourself, Doc. How's Klein?
We've made him some toys. He's playing with them. I've assigned Mac to see that he doesn't hurt himself.
Doc.
Yes?
Have you got any ideas on what's happening to us?
Well, man experiences incidents, gathers knowledge, knows emotions. Then, as he grows older, he begins to forget those experiences, forget that knowledge. That's what life is, a long series of forgettings.
That is
Here,
true.
on 9, in some impossible way, the forgetting is speeded up. It happens overnight.
No, there's more to it.
I read somewhere that you don't want to live forever, because if you were immortal,
Try to get some rest.
you would actually forget things that happened, like, in your life. So imagine, like, how hard it is to remember anything from when you were a kid. Like, sure, you might have some vivid memories, but most of it you probably don't remember.
We're in a jam.
So imagine you live for 1,000 years, like 1,000 years from today. The person that you are today, like, you're probably not going to remember any of it.
I can feel it myself.
Probably even the people that you knew.
We should have looked around more.
Klein looked around. Klein was the one found that tower.
Bertie, that's right. He did.
He said he didn't like it. He said it scared him.
In the morning, Bad Ears, we'll go and see that tower.
I'm going to go on kind of a tangent here, but I think
in the morning I took Doc and
the human brain has to have like a capacity, right? Like, there's only so much. There has to be a cap to how much information it can store.
On top of the other.
There has to be, right? I mean, I don't know, but if you live for that long,
pretty solid.
There has to be a cap to how much you can remember, even if you had like a photographic memory.
Did anybody bother to look inside this thing?
That's an interesting thought.
You were here with Klein yesterday.
Yes, sir. We couldn't find a way in, Captain. Klein poked around but gave up.
Well, we'll make a way in. Stand back. I think I can shoot the top off it. Oh, now that should be big enough for a man to lower himself into. Okay, pass a rope around my shoulders.
Captain.
Yes?
In case there's anything, well, dangerous, maybe I ought to go. After all, I'm survey engineer.
MacIver's right, Ira.
Okay, Mac, your responsibility.
Yes, sir. Just fasten the rope under my arms.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now,
what a good
I'm
employee.
Up and roll myself in. If I pull twice, haul me out. One pull means okay. Give me a hand, Brady. Huh?
How about a quick shot of whiskey first?
Never touch it. Ready? Yep.
Can you see inside?
How about a quick shot of whiskey first?
I'm going to lower myself. Pay out a little rope. Well, it's been lovely. Here we go.
One tug. He's on the ground inside.
Yeah, I wonder what he's found.
He's okay.
Still don't like it.
Oh, Brady, there's probably not a thing in there except a few... There's 2 tugs. 3. Come on, haul him out.
Pull him out.
Brady, help me through the top.
Right.
He was in there for like 5 seconds.
Now, Mac. What the heck is in there anyway? Mac? Mac?
Dada? Dada?
Holy jumping asteroids. Doc, he's flipped.
No, he hasn't lost his mind. He's just reverted to babyhood.
At least he knew to tug.
We stood there at the foot of the tower, stunned. MacIver sat on the ground, happy as a clam, playing with his fingers and talking happy little nonsense syllables. Doc, take a look at him.
Goo goo gaga.
Check. If it's fright, his pulse will be way up. Mac, let me have your hand. That's a good fellow. Now, Good heavens.
What is it?
I've forgotten what the normal pulse rate is. Pulse.
Oh, crap.
Doc, let's get out of here. Brady, pick up MacGyver and bring him back to the ship. Come on, let's get away from this tower. A few minutes later, Brady and I sat in the captain's quarters. He didn't do much talking, just sat and tipped his bottle to his lips ever so often. Well, at least we know in a general way what we're up against.
Do we?
We know there's been knowledge lost, important information forgotten.
Check.
Now, that memory, that lost skill, that knowledge went somewhere. Maybe there's something in that tower that takes it away. And I have a silly feeling we might even get it back.
Have a drink.
It's a hell of a theory.
Get a couple of men, volunteers.
Now?
Now.
What for?
We're going to find out what's inside that tower.
I don't know about that theory.
We lowered a rotating infrared movie camera into the tower, took some pictures, and went back to the ship for a look. There was something in there, all right.
Now, as far as we can determine, this thing we photographed is shaped like a watermelon standing on end. The movement of the hairs all over it suggests vibrations, such as an antenna of an insect. Underneath are wires leading to terminals that seemed plugged right into the thing.
You think it's a form of life?
My guess is a combination of living organism and machine. After all, man and machine work together. The difference is that man retains his individual identity.
Well, since it doesn't locomote, somebody or something must have put it there.
Exactly.
It looks like some kind of communication organism.
If it is, it's a communication machine that is built to take in information rather than pass it along.
Doc, do you really think that egg in there has been stealing our memory?
Why not?
Well, because it's too wild, that's why not.
It's no wilder than a lot of other things we found. Say that egg is a device for gathering knowledge.
But there's no knowledge here to gather. I mean, how often does a ship land on an out-of-the-way melon like this?
Wait a minute, Brady. Who says that knowledge has to be collected here?
What?
I said, why do we assume that knowledge has to be collected right here on Planet 9?
Yeah, that's true.
We forget things back on Earth, don't we?
Good Lord.
Suppose you were some race setting out fish traps for knowledge, and you had plenty of time to gather it. Where would you put your traps? On a planet swarming with intelligent beings where the traps would be found and destroyed or their secrets snatched away? Or would you put them out on some second-rate world where nobody would ever bother them?
Good heavens, I'd pick a spot just like this.
Let me fill in this picture, Doc. I think that some unknown race is bent on trapping knowledge throughout the galaxy.
Ira, if what you say is true, if it is, then every time someone on Earth forgets something, it's because one of these eggs has drained it out of him.
Well?
It's too fantastic.
Have you got a better guess?
No.
Well, the question is, what do we do next?
Yeah, I don't know about that one,
Anybody
but
gets near
it's an
that
interesting
egg, he
idea.
winds up like some puling little baby.
You were pretty near it that first day. Did you forget anything?
Well, how should I know? I was too pleasantly lit up on grain spirits to know the difference.
Well, the question is still, what now?
I'm going outside to think.
Ira.
Yes?
Okay, so the closer you are to it, I
What
guess,
is that, Doc?
the more you forget.
If those are memory traps, then there must be a way for somebody to empty them. And if we're ever going to get away from here, what's gone in has got to come out.
I feel like you would have to have the alien technology in order to interface with it, though.
I stood out on the platform of the ship and tried to make some sort of pattern of it. Forgetfulness. That was the key word. All through the galaxy, in every culture, there was forgetfulness. There were lots of learned theories, of course, kinks in the brain, neuroses, data processing. But suppose they were wrong. Might it not be that forgetfulness was caused by thousands upon thousands of these memory traps planted throughout the galaxy, nibbling away at the conscious memory of all the sentient beings that lived among the stars? On Earth, a man forgets slowly because the traps are far away. But here, in their very shadow, a man forgets suddenly. And then another thought entered my mind. What kind of race had set these traps? How did they empty them? How? Brady, huh? Where do you keep your liquor?
Not cheap.
Come on, where?
It's in my locker.
Get it out of there, all of it.
Ira.
That's a direct order.
Okay.
All of it. That it?
So if none of these memory traps are around, then people would just have, like,
if you
an eidetic memory.
So help me, I'll never
Who said anything about confiscating? That is, have you ever really hung one on, I mean, just got pie-eyed drunk?
Let's see. There was once on Mars.
Was that the worst?
It was beautiful. Took me 3 days to sober up. They say I fought off the whole galactic patrol for hours.
Well, do you think you got enough here to get that polluted again?
I got a pretty good supply, Ira.
Well, that's good, because in 1 minute, I'm going to give you a direct order to hang on the biggest, most monstrous drunk in the entire history of the universe. But first you have to volunteer.
I volunteer?
No, not until I explain why I'm doing this.
Ira, this sort of project don't need reasons. It's a pleasure.
Let me finish. You know that egg up in the tower?
Yeah?
The minute you get near it, it grabs your mind, wipes it clean, right?
Yeah.
And a lead space helmet doesn't shield you, as we saw with MacIver.
Right.
Now, Doc thinks this egg is a kind of communications thing.
It must be.
Okay, you're a communications man. What do you do when you can't shield the communication?
Well, that's easy. You scramble it. Any fool knows. Holy mackerel.
Exactly.
Holy.
You still game?
Mackerel.
Think it'll work?
I don't know. I think it might.
Well, suppose it doesn't.
You'll be a babbling infant like Klein and MacIver.
If we don't stop that thing, it'll happen anyway.
Unless we can remember how to start the engines.
Okay, Ira. I'll do it. When do I start?
Right now.
Well, Ira, here's mud in your ever-loving intergalactic eyeballs. You know something? I'm beginning to like this mission already.
Me too. Me too.
Well, that kills the last bottle.
How am I doing, our old buddy?
You're not drunk enough. I should have picked somebody like Doc, except he'd probably pass out.
I'm not drunk enough, huh, old buddy pal?
Not yet.
Well, then, in which case, old buddy, I'm going to have to do something I never like to have to do.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
I'm going to have to go into my extra special emergency reserve supply.
This guy's coming in clutch, I'm not going to lie.
Keep in case of getting marooned on a planet, you know? I don't like to go into it, but in this case, it's my duty. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a heck of an engineer. A rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a heck of an engineer. Woo! Blast off!
What?
Okay, I guess you're ready. What do you think, Doc?
He's
amazing thing I've ever
gone.
seen.
Is he drunk enough?
What I want to know is what's keeping him conscious.
Okay, Bad Ears, on your feet. Help him up, Doc.
Right.
Same.
Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Let's go, Bad Ears.
Right. Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Somehow we pushed, hauled, and stumbled Bad Ears Brady out of the ship and up the rocks to the egg tower. We erected a tripod over the hole with a block and tackle, passed a rope around Brady's chest, and hauled him over the entrance to the tower. There he swung like some overstuffed pig, singing raucously under the eerie moonlight.
Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Well,
Hell of an engineer.
they're on. I guess we're ready to lower him.
That's the only song he knows.
You sure? It's a man's life.
I'm not sure, Doc. But as commander of this expedition, I sometimes have to risk the lives of my men. Okay, Ira.
Lower away before I start to get sober. Lower away. Blast off. Fire one. Fire two. Bon voyage, Ira.
Good luck, Brady.
Good luck. He's at the bottom, Ira.
Bad Ears, can you hear me?
Get your hands out of my hair. Something's got his hands in my hair, Ira.
Oh, the thing must be picking at his brain.
What?
Brady, listen to me. Do you see the egg?
See, this is my buddy, Ira. My little old egghead buddy. You and me's buddies, egghead, right? Have a drink.
Oh, good Lord. What's the matter with him? He's pouring it on the egg. Brady, listen to me. The wires.
He's pouring the alcohol on the egg.
You took in with you.
Yeah.
Pull out the studs on the egg and hook your wires to it. You got that?
Just a minute. Me and Egg here's got to have a drink.
Oh, good heavens. It's no use, Ira. He's too drunk to know what he's doing.
I'll try again. Brady, listen. Your friend, the egg, can't hear you, see? He can't have a drink until you hook your wires into him. You got that?
Sure, that's an awful thing. That's dreadful. Okay.
This guy's hilarious.
What's he doing? Doc, you getting any...
Yeah, okay.
It starts to sober up.
Maybe we'd better.
Okay, 1, 2...
Wait a minute, wait.
What?
I'm getting something, Ira. What? This is fantastic. Oh, I'm getting something.
All right, haul him out, quick. Right. Come on.
A rambling wreck from
Georgia Tech! And a hell of an engineer.
Brady, are you all right? Doc, help me. Take a look at him. Is he okay?
Yes, he's okay. Just passed out.
Let's get him back to the ship.
Right. You know what, Ira?
What?
Tomorrow about 9 a.m., we're going to be in on the most colossal hangover in the history of mornings after.
Yeah, no kidding.
We were in on more than Doc Spencer had bargained for. More than any human...
Yeah, I would not have seen this coming. That's an interesting direction they went with this.
Well, Brady, how do you feel?
Shoot me.
You turned the trick. The tower. You hooked into the egg. The stuff is rolling out now. Doc and the boys have got a recording hooked up. The stuff they're listening in on is enough to set your teeth on edge.
What stuff?
The information that mind trap has been collecting for hundreds of years. It'll take us years to sort it out, but we're getting some of it straight already.
Any of our own stuff?
Plenty.
Anything on engines?
Well, not on our engines.
So?
We got the dope on the junkyard engine. Mac and the boys are helping to get it assembled. We're ripping out our own engines and just keeping some of the parts.
Another junkyard, huh?
Another junkyard. The engine we're building now is superior to anything ever built.
So it's kind of like what they saw from the other people that were here, the other aliens that were here.
Tell Doc if he comes across
so they got away too.
Hangover remedy to let me know, huh? Oh.
It took us about 6 days to assemble new engines using some of our parts and some of the advanced designs from the junkyard. During most of that time, Doc Spencer sat down at the tower with a set of headphones monitoring the information from the egg. He was like a man possessed. I didn't think anything unnatural was happening until the night of the 6th day. Well, that does it. The boys have got the engines ready for blast-off. There's a full moon, too.
We should be able to lift her by tomorrow morning, huh?
We're blasting off in exactly 1 minute, that is.
What?
In exactly 1 minute.
But Ira, Doc, and some of the techno boys are down monitoring that egg.
I know it.
Well, it'll take them 20 minutes to get back into the ship with all that equipment.
They're not getting back.
Huh?
I said they're not getting
Oof.
back.
Ira, are you nuts?
Come here, that is. I want you to take a look through this field scope. You can get a good close-up of Doc and the boys who have been monitoring that egg.
Now, wait till I get it focused.
You got 'em?
Yeah.
Take a close-up.
Mother in heaven.
You see why we have to leave them here?
Those faces, they're like some kind of beast.
Oh.
What is it, Ira? What's happened to them?
The same thing that must have happened to the crew of the last ship that touched here. The same thing that made them blast out of here in such a tearing hurry.
What?
That is, there isn't only knowledge in that thing. Those boys are monitoring something else.
Something else?
Personality, that is. They're not human anymore. They're turning alien.
Oh. It's interesting. So it turns them into aliens, too.
They were still there when the ship roared up away from Planet 9 and pointed her silver nose toward Earth. We could see them in the scopes. A group of tiny figures crouched over the recording equipment, their earphones plugged into the egg. They didn't even look up when we blasted off. They were no longer human now. They were something else. Something 1,000,000 light years old and of another world.
You have just heard X-1, National Broadcasting Company.
The twist at the end was interesting, how they're turning into aliens. I don't know.
Which this month features the R. DeWitt Miller
that was
story,
interesting.
Swenson Dispatcher.
It was a good story, though. I really liked it.
Unscrupulous spaceship dispatcher who tries to.
I think that it was
ethical means.
Pretty interesting how they brought up the idea that if, or the way that humans forget things, that is because of aliens, I guess, that are collecting knowledge. So that's kind of cool.
Featured in the cast were
a little bit fantastic, but
Bob Hastings, Mercer McLeod,
still
Stan
interesting.
Early, and Jack Orison. Your announcer.
Pretty entertaining. The way this one was written was much better. There was much more intrigue. You didn't really know what was going on. I mean, I kind of guessed in the beginning. There's a junkyard of parts, so it was a little obvious that they weren't the first ones to be there. But where they were going with it, with the memories and stuff, yeah, that was pretty original. I haven't heard anything like that before. So, all in all, I'd say that was a good story. Definitely. What do you guys think? Actually, I didn't have quite as many shots as I normally do. Well, actually, I'm not going to say normally, but at least comparatively to last time. Like, last time I was just gone. Right now, I don't feel too bad. I think I had 3 or 4 shots. I think I had 4. So, yeah, nothing crazy. I'm actually kind of excited to get a new drink. I don't know. I get sick of things really fast. So, I have this Game of Thrones, Johnny Walker still, and the Fireball, and, all that stuff that I've been drinking for the last 5-6 episodes. But I do want to try something new. So if you guys want me to drink something that you like, or want me to try something crazy, yeah, let me know, and I'll try and pick it up for sure, and I could drink it. But yeah, this was fun. Yeah, so from now on, we're probably going to be moving to a once a week type of schedule for Retro Sci-Fi Nights. Luckily for this last week, I haven't had to go to my normal job, so I just figured I'd pump out as many episodes as possible so you guys would have stuff to listen to. But yeah, next week I'm going to start going back to work, so I'm only probably going to have time for one episode on the weekends, probably on like Friday or something like that. But, it won't be too bad. It'll be an hour episode, so, I mean, posting every day is not super typical for podcasts, and once a week is more normal, so I think it'll be fine. But, yeah, we're going to stay with the two shows, like the two different stories per episode, so it's going to be about an hour long each time. And, yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening. And this was Retro Sci-Fi Nights at the bar at the edge of the universe. I've been your host, Adrian Maddox. And as the outro is going to say again, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. Remember to raise your telescopes and never stop on your quest for knowledge, except for maybe a drink. This is the bar at the edge of the universe. I've been your host, Adrian Maddox. Thank you, and good night.